What's going on, guys? So I know I was supposed to post that video on Thursday, but man, it was Christmas. It was not New Year's, and I was out partying and all that stuff. Not gonna lie, I completely forgot to make the video. I was like, I woke up next day. I was like, man, I forgot to make that video. So here I am. Was today? I think today's Saturday. Yesterday was Friday, I think. And so, as promised, I'm gonna show you this Batman annual. I haven't gotten to the last 52 yet. I'm kind of conflicted about reading it. My comic book guy gave it to me. He said you should read it. I don't know if it's any good or not. I guess I just have to read it. But Batman Annual number 5, Origin of the Clown Hunter. In this, you essentially just get his origin. Let me open it up for you. Let me know if you guys want me to show you the comic book itself to see if it's good or not in the comments. Or if you just, if you know me personally, you just want to DM me really quick and let me know. But I think it was a pretty good book. The artwork for me was, I wasn't really that big a fan of the artwork. Essentially, Clown Hunter goes to Dr. Leslie Tompkins to essentially just get help. Basically, just to figure out, what his problem is. And basically tells the story of, how his parents died. Joker was there, Harley Quinn was there, if you're reading Batman right now. So I don't have that much energy. I'm just super tired. But yeah, it was, for the most part, it was a pretty good issue. I think just the artwork for me just wasn't it. It just seemed very, I don't know. I'm trying to think of where I've seen artwork, this art style from. I want to say it's like Mad. If you remember the old Mad magazines, I think that's what it looks like to me. I'm probably misplacing that whole thing, but yeah, but essentially it just shows how he became who he is, how his parents died. Essentially, it's just like Batman, but more just unhinged. This is he's kind of he reminds he's just Batman. His parents died because of the Joker. And he finds this lady was on fire. She's like, help me, whatever, and he's like, I'm tired of this shit, and then becomes the Clown Hunter. I guess I'll show you guys the artwork just to see if you like it or not. So find a page that's not very spoiler heavy. Yeah. So it's kind of like that. It's like I said, for me, it just was the story itself was good. Just the artwork for me just was kind of, I don't know, just not my cup of tea, I guess. Yeah, but it was a good book nonetheless. So this next week is gonna be DC Future State, and so basically, I think it's set 5 to 10 years into the future of the DC universe. So I talked about this plenty of times already. So expect to see a lot of DC comics more than Marvel. I'm probably gonna go light on Marvel this month, for the next couple months, just because I'm really interested in this DC Future State stuff. I really want them to if it works out, which I really hope it does, if it works out, that they continue doing it. It was supposed to be part of 5G originally, but then the guy that was running that whole thing, I think he got fired or left or something like that. I don't know the politics of that whole situation, but the guy that was really originally doing it, he got let go or he left, and so now they essentially just shortened that into just a handful of books. But if this goes well, which again, really hope it does. That we see more and more stuff like this. But yeah, I expect to see just a lot more DC stuff. Probably gonna go light on Marvel these next few months, just until I think March or April. I'm also gonna be around that time. I'm gonna be in the process of moving, so you might not even see a lot of content then because I'm gonna be packing up and stuff like that. But yeah, that's basically all I have for you. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm probably not gonna read this book. It's a tie-in. I'm not really that big fan of tie-ins. I like the main stories. There's very few tie-ins that I'll actually read. I've read a lot of the DC death metal tie-ins, and I'm just like, there's so many tie-ins. It's so frustrating. Like, just don't do tie-ins. Like, but at the same time, people are like, oh, what is this character doing in this time? What is this character doing? It's like, just say that they're there fighting. You know, if it's like a world level thing, this is a whole world fighting, right? Like in, for example, in the Venom story, they have, you know, the whole world is being, you know, fought by the symbiotes. I'm like, you know, and there are some times where it's okay, you know, when it's like something comedic, right? Like the Doom and Iron Man story, where it was like they're fighting Santa Claus, the Venomized Santa Claus. Then in that case, like, it's fine because it's supposed to be funny. Not really taken seriously. But if it's stuff like the last 52, I'm just like, just put this into the last issue of the story, and just make it one big book. But like I said, probably not gonna read it. If you want to pick it up, you can. If you're not that big, like how I compare like tie-ins is like some are important, some aren't. Most of the DC tie-ins for death metal aren't important, but there's like maybe 3 or 4 that are. And then if you're also interested into the dark multiverse stuff, that stuff's kind of cool. Like the one where Green Lantern turned into a herald for Surtur. Like that one's pretty cool because there's like Crisis on Infinite Earths, all that stuff. But for the most part, I would not suggest buying tie-ins. Just buy the main story. It'll save you a lot of time and a whole lot of money. Unless like, but like for like, that's just Marvel. But for DC, like, yeah, just stick to the main story. Marvel stuff, like if, for example, like if you're gonna be reading King in Black, you're gonna want to buy Venom because Venom ties into that directly because it's about the same story. However, like if you want to buy like Symbiote Spider-Man or like the Doom and Iron Man story, or the Namor story, like you'll catch up with that in the main story, so it's not really all that important. But Venom and King of Black, like those tied directly because Venom King of Black is basically just about Dylan and Eddie Brock. And no, so that's all I have for you today. Again, I've just been super tired. Yeah, but hopefully this DC Future State stuff is pretty good, because if not, then I'm gonna be pretty disappointed. And they're just like, and there's no notable writers on there like Chip Zdarsky or anything like that. It's just like a whole bunch of, I won't say no name writers, but just writers that are starting to build a repertoire of comic and insider knowledge like that, just so that they can, you know, further their career. I'm hoping that they don't just think about it as like just a cash grab, and just make BS stories. All can be high quality stories, stuff that, you know, that you can show someone else, be like, this is a good story. Not just like, this writer made this story. You can go ahead and, you know, you can read it if you want. Like I want to only cover books that I enjoy and that I think are high quality. If I think it's garbage, I'm not gonna, like Last 52. If I don't have really a will to read it, I'm not gonna read it. And like I've looked, it's not like I haven't looked through the book. I've looked through the book a little bit, and for the most part, I'm just like uninterested. So yeah, that's all I have for you today. Peace.